Night 15. After the blind side on Romero, Sarah talks to Adriana, wondering how her side was able to pull off the last vote. Adriana doesn't leak much and instead tells Sarah she's disappointed that she stuck her vote on Tanner. Sarah says she simply doesn't have a good enough relationship with Tanner to keep him. Adriana shrugs and says the same about Romero. Ivy and Tanner chat in the meantime, extremely happy they both survived. Tanner, however, doesn't know how to feel about Adriana because she did not play her idol. They all knew it was an extreme gamble to trust Eric and Sarah. The fact that she did not use the idol on anybody shows how selfish she really is. Ivy tells him they should keep that aside right now because they can still use Adriana as a great weapon in the merge. Although Tanner agrees, he still doesn't feel like it's right for him to keep her around much longer. Ivy later talks to Mark, trying to figure out how he plans to move forward after losing one of his closest allies. Mark tells her he doesn't have much loyalty with anyone else other than Sarah. He feels like losing Romero is both a blessing and a curse. Of course, he lost a valuable number, but at least now it allows both of them trust each other more. Ivy agrees and says she tried to steer the vote away from Mark despite the perception that he's too much of a physical threat going into the merge. Mark smiles and claims he obviously lost a lot of trust with Eric now and he doesn't see a future with him. Ivy agrees and says he's probably her personal target going forward. The main obstacle right now is that Tanner and Adriana probably want Sarah out first, so it's going to be tricky to work around that. Tanner and Eric chat, and Tanner thanks him greatly for keeping him. Eric fills him in on the deal Adriana made with him the other day. She promised to keep him safe in the merge and he saw that as a great opportunity to break away from his ex-tribe. He knew it was going to become a sinking ship, so he hopped off before it was too late. Tanner says they will surely remember what he did tonight. Right now, the goal is to stay strong and get rid of Sarah and Mark. That will definitely last them until merge. On Huhu, Karen, Anna, and Boo Boo talk about how great of a position they are in going into the merge. Boo Boo wonders if they will merge tomorrow, but Anna says it feels too soon to merge, especially since they have only been on this new tribe for one round. Karen asks if Liana is still the game plan if they lose the immunity challenge, and Anna confirms it's the best move for them to stay strong. She adds that they technically have enough votes to split between Liana and Caden since it's becoming evident that Caden is more distant from them. Boo Boo agrees and says Caden has been a bit too close to his daughter, which makes him uncomfortable. Caden and Liana discuss their future on this tribe as they both feel like they need each other the most right now. Liana spills the alliance that was created with the women and says she doesn't want the three women to use that so-called alliance against her. Caden feels like after much observation, Anna is becoming an apparent threat because she's always calling the shots. Karen is her best friend and Boo Boo is her loyal ally. Liana doesn't think Allison is that trustworthy and feels like they have a better chance at flipping Boo Boo since she can work on his emotions. Since Boo Boo is all about rebuilding the relationship the two of them have, she can play that up so he feels bad voting her out. Then, they can convince him that Anna is trying to poison their relationship even further. Caden hopes this works and tells Liana he'll have his fair share of conversations. Liana finds Boo Boo and tells him she's realizing how mean it is of her to completely avoid him here. She knows they'll have to live together another few days, so she'd rather get things out of the way with him. Boo Boo smiles and says he's been waiting for them to finally talk again. Liana lets out a dramatic sigh and begins to spew out fake tears. She apologizes to him for crying and says she's finding it really difficult to control her emotions out here. Boo Boo tells her she shouldn't apologize and that instead, he should apologize for coming off as a horrible father. To this day, he never really understood why she cut contact with him. Liana wipes her tears and says she just never agreed with his parenting since mom was the only one truly taking care of her. Boo Boo shrugs and says he focused more on the farm and earning the money and didn't realize how important it was for him to bond with her. He wipes the sweat off of his forehead and asks her to forgive him. She doesn't immediately state she forgives him and instead says she just wants one favor from him. Since she has been dying to play Survivor for years, she really doesn't want her adventure to end here. She asks him to keep her from going home next if they end up going to tribal council. Boo Boo stays quiet for a moment and then says he'll talk to Anna, Karen, and Allison and see if they would be down to flip on Caden. But Liana says she doesn't want Caden to go. She thinks it's better for the both of them to vote out Anna because she's extremely manipulative. Boo Boo breathes out and says it'll be really tough for him to do that because Anna has been very kind to him and she's never done anything to betray their trust. Liana stops Boo Boo and tells him he needs to prioritize their father and daughter relationship. Boo Boo says he'll think on this since there's so much information he has to process. Day 16. It's time for the immunity challenge. Both tribes reach their mats and Huhu finds out that Romero was last voted off. All 6 are shook, so Justin asks Karen why everyone seems so shocked by the outcome. Karen says they all expected an original Huhu to go home since there are 4 original Huhu members there. Anna asks if Adriana ended up using her public idol, but Adriana shakes her head. Liana rubs her head and crosses her arms in reaction to this. Justin then gets to the challenge rules. In this challenge, players will go one at a time and slide down the water slide. Then, they must run back to the mat so the next person can go. This will continue until one tribe fully finishes with all 6 members. The first tribe to finish wins immunity, sending the losing tribe to tribal council to vote out the 9th player from the game. The challenge begins, and Adriana and Karen go up first for their tribes. Karen falls face first while Adriana poses for the cameras. Adriana runs back, a bit ahead of Karen. Once they reach their mats, Tanner goes up, and then Anna. Anna almost loses control as she spins around uncontrollably, but she saves herself. Both of them begin running back, and Anna gains back the lost time for Huhu. Eric immediately slides for Huhu while Caden remains hesitant for a moment. His tribe tells him to go so he attempts the slide and successfully gets across. Meanwhile, Eric runs back to his tribe with a better lead and eventually allows Ivy to go next for his tribe. Caden gets back so Liana is up for Huhu. Ivy successfully slides across on her feet while Liana slides on her back. Once Ivy reaches her mat, Sarah goes next for Huhu and spins in circles. Liana finally makes it back for her tribe so Boo Boo slides on his back. Sarah dashes for her mat, letting Mark go last for his tribe. Boo Boo takes a break mid-run due to exhaustion, but he eventually makes it back to his mat. While Mark runs back to his mat, Allison goes last for her tribe and tries to dive. However, she dives way too hard and injures herself. It doesn't matter though as Mark is back for his tribe, meaning Huhu wins immunity. This means someone from Huhu will go home tonight as the 9th person voted out of the game. They all head back to camp. Back at Huhu, Karen talks with Allison about how much they blew it at the challenge. Allison doesn't care that much because this is their opportunity to take out Liana before merge. Plus, it guarantees one less number for old Huhu. Karen agrees and reminds Allison she's 100% loyal to old Huhu. Tonight will be her night to cut ties with Huhu by voting Liana out. Boo Boo talks with Anna and asks her if the original plan of Liana going still stands. She says it's still the plan from what she knows. She doesn't think Liana has an idol either, but in the case she does, they could consider splitting the votes between her and Caden. Boo Boo silently nods. Anna asks him if something is bothering him, and he says he just doesn't know how to feel voting out his daughter tonight. Anna pats his shoulder and says that although he feels bad, Liana is playing for herself. They are rivals for a reason. Boo Boo shrugs and still feels like it's not worth it to vote her out in a game. He even says he would feel better getting voted out himself, but Anna immediately says they won't be doing that. She tells him to just relax the rest of the evening if he's finding it difficult to vote Liana out. Liana talks to Caden in the meantime and tells him their only chance is to try voting Anna out. Caden asks her how her conversation with Boo Boo went last night, and she thinks he's buying everything she offered. She feels evil for playing with his emotions, but she had to do what she had to do. Caden crosses his fingers, hoping their plan works tonight. Liana chats with Karen since they are old Huhu members. Liana asks her if the votes are on her tonight, and Karen admits it's going to be a split vote between her and Caden. Liana sighs and asks Karen if she would consider voting Caden tonight instead of her. Karen instantly says she will vote Caden. Liana smiles and thanks her. Karen tells her not to get that twisted since she's voting Caden as part of the split plan. Liana laughs uncomfortably and says she didn't realize that's what she meant by that. Karen tells Liana she personally wants Caden gone tonight, but she's not sure how far she can go to make that happen. Liana says she would appreciate it if she could pull something off since old Huhu are falling apart so quickly. It's night 16. Hupai arrives to tribal council and everyone sits down. Justin begins the discussion asking Liana how she's feeling in the game right now. He noticed her face turn cold after finding out Romero got voted out. Liana says it's very clear to her that old Hupai is taking control now, so she's rightfully worried for her own safety for that reason. Justin asks Karen if she feels the same way, but Karen says it's a much different case for her. She's way closer to old Hupai, therefore she's not associated with old Huhu. Anna nods that Karen is considered their close family now. Allison smiles and says they adore having Karen around. Karen grins, but Liana keeps a stern face on. Justin asks Caden if this means Liana is the simple boot tonight, and Caden says it likely is. He hasn't had many conversation today, so he's a bit worried himself. Justin asks Anna if Caden should be worried tonight, but Anna shakes her head. She claims they all have a common target right now, and unfortunately, there's nothing that Target can do. Liana says it's quite clear that Target is her, but she still hopes there's some miracle out there that will save her tonight. Justin asks Boo Boo if he's part of this majority Target plan, and Boo Boo says he unfortunately is. It's obviously very difficult for him because his daughter is on this tribe. They barely talked for a long time, and now they had to reunite in a cutthroat game. Liana interrupts him and says this game doesn't have to be cutthroat. It's only cutthroat if you make it that. Boo Boo sighs and says he's very confused by his emotions. He says he's a complete mess right now and doesn't know what to do. Anna puts her hand on his shoulder and frowns at him. Justin then says it's time to get to the vote.
I'll tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and they want to play it, now would be the time to do so. Alright, I'll read the votes. First vote. Liana. Liana. That's 2 votes Liana. Caden. 2 votes Liana, 1 vote Caden. Anna. Anna. That's 2 votes Anna, 2 votes Liana, 1 vote Caden, 1 vote left. Caden. We have a tie between Liana, Anna, and Caden. We will re-vote. Liana, Anna, and Caden will not vote. That means only Allison, Karen, and Boo Boo will vote for one of those 3. If the vote ties again, rocks will need to be drawn. It's time to vote. I'll tally the votes. I'll read the votes. First vote, Liana. Ninth person voted out of Survivor Rivals. Liana.
Liana gets up and heads for her torch. Boo Boo looks at the floor and Anna holds his arm to keep him calm. Caden looks around at the other 4, knowing he's probably going next. Liana puts her torch down next to Justin and watches him snuff it. She leads without saying anything and Boo Boo continues to hold in his tears. Justin lets the 5 remaining people to head back to camp, so they do. Liana reaches the rival redemption sign, finding out she still has a chance to return to the game. Tomorrow morning, her rival, Boo Boo, will decide whether or not she should compete in the returning challenge right before merge. Liana then heads to rival redemption camp. Next time on Survivor Rivals. It has been 16 days ever since 10 rivalries stepped foot onto the Hawaiian Islands. Out of the 20 castaways, only 11 remain. But that will all change as they reach the merge phase of the game. This means someone from Rival Redemption will return, making it 12 players remaining. Will it be Jaya? Or will Boo Boo give Liana a second shot by allowing her to compete in the Redemption Challenge? There is so much to unpack next episode, so you don't want to miss it. Find out all the merge drama and strategy on Thursday. Liana reaches the rival redemption camp and immediately hugs Jaya as soon as she sees her. Jaya says she's devastated to see her here and was rooting for her to reach merge. Liana claims that Boo Boo voted her out, so she knows now he prefers to play the game rather than rebuild their relationship. Jaya rolls her eyes, annoyed at the clear dominant alliance Huhu has. They both continue filling each other in about things that have gone down.